And to add on from that last post, suddenly I feel small. I feel insignificant. And that's kind of what psychedelics do. I mean, I'm not using that stuff anymore, but that's kind of what it would push you to war. Sometimes it'll kill your ego. And you know what I mean? You think you're this big thing. You think you're the universe. And then it's like, it humbles you. And so I'm just naturally feeling that way right now because of what I just explained. It's like, well, okay, enlightenment is one thing, knowing what you are is one thing, but the question remains, what would you do if you found out that you were God? First we have all this superstition, you know what I mean? We're like, oh, well, God is of mystery. And the reason why slavery happened, as we know it, as it was documented, slavery happened to destroy the human psyche. You destroy the human psyche, right? And you give a human being the concept of God. All of a sudden, reality becomes superstitious. It becomes almost, it becomes very mysterious and what do I want to say? Not taboo. Like, reality becomes I don't even know how to put it into words. It becomes like a mystery. An illegal mystery. Like, you feel prisoned because of something that you don't know, right? Here you are, people have all these ideas about a higher power, and that higher power, you have all these rules to follow or else. And it was, the idea of God. People had malicious intent in this world. Because so as you have a God and all the rules of your basic human morals, these demons or devils violated those basic human morals of dignity and goodness, completely tainted themselves in the opposite to control a people and to instill fear in them. You know what I mean? The 10 Commandments and all these things, and if you are not following suit, you are a heathen, and they beat, whipped, chained, killed, and so they killed off a people to instill in the psyche a legal circuitry. Because they have created our minds to become imprisoned purposefully. It's by design. It just didn't happen. They did all that stuff to make your mind go mad. And the whole purpose of evil existing in this world was just based off their morals. And so when they destroyed a whole nations of people, and killed. You know, it was World War I, World War II, and all the wars before that. Wars of basically exterminating people because they had guns, and so they regulated laws. The same infiltrate of the mind is now normalized, saying that they are the ones who make the rules on this earth. Not only the 10 Commandments, but all the laws in this world that you have to follow. Or else they're going to do what they already once did to us. And so the key to all this is to not give up your power. You know, unfortunately, I'm one man. There's nobody by my side. I wish I had a mob with me who can listen to me and say, you know, I am right. But with the media, there are other chosen ones, or whatever you want to call us, righteous people. And we're all awake now. You know, it takes one lifetime to become awake. Because, you know what? They can still rule and savage, so as long as we don't do anything to fix its current problem right now. They operate on a right now basis. They work in the name of evil in a right now basis. So the only way to combat that is you need to work in your own divinity on a right now basis. You work just as hard or even harder, because you got that divine power within you to operate your morals on a right now basis. Because I'm telling you, these people will stop at nothing to keep their current system going. But it is defeatable, absolutely. All you need is numbers and to have a sound mind. That's it. Because if they did it once, they will do it again. They will destroy people again, give the same recipe, and then if we don't take action, they're just going to remain there. But who says that they can have all these laws in this world? It's an imagination. It's a delusion. No person can regulate laws. It's a sickness in the mind. Because they rule by control. They killed off people, and the reason for their killing is that when you come back into this place, because they will force reproduction, and when they force reproduction, and we all repopulate the earth, they now have all these evil doctrines about following their rules, or else. It's always or else. They become the mean parent of reality. You know? Because as soon as we get here, all of a sudden there's these rules that we follow and all this fear that you must listen to or else, when really we are free the moment we breathe. We are free the moment we have thought. But they want to turn your mind and your whole existence into a prison cell. They are the ones that farm human beings. And when they farm human beings, they turn a human being into their source of energy. Because they do this so that they will remain at the top. If they're at the top and they turn human beings into a source of energy because they have farmed human beings so purposefully and designed some imaginatory wicked rules that they so tirelessly work to keep as a vision. They do that because they realize the truth of existence. And that is, we are born free to do whatever we want here. But we have to collectively want that freedom. Did you hear that? We have to collectively know and want that freedom that is already ours, that we were born with it. There's two sides of the spectrum. You believe in your psyche that the Decepticons, the elite people, the ones who have created the 10 Commandments, religion, the school system, all these systems, the police force, the war house, like the armies and stuff like that, the Marines, all that. And to oppose that, to go against all that, and to say, I am already free. I am already the most powerful being. Because what I say matters. And you can't enforce your beliefs on another person. You can only live out what you believe life should be. And so that's when objective reality comes into place. That maybe it's better if this world was controlled. Okay, the laws, they make sense. But the thing is, they don't want us to wake up to our divinity. They still need workers. They still need people who are in fear to make use of them. Because if you are not in fear, then you wake up to your divinity. And when you wake up to your divinity, you realize that you can still thrive. You can still make it in a luxurious way based off of your own divinity and your own energy. But instead, people will put their energy to the matrix. So the government is the matrix. Or like Ralph Smart says, the crowd is the matrix. So now that the world is going through their spiritual awakening, becoming enlightened, the dilemma still remains. How do you bypass the matrix? Andrew Tate says that you need to find a way to make yourself rich. But that's not the end of the discussion, because some people are still absolutely fine in poverty. Except if you had the choice to either be rich or to be poor, everybody would choose to be rich. So, erase all that and just say, well, how can you find a way to be rich? You know, we have all these awakened beings, star seeds and chosen ones, all emerging. How can we become rich off of our existence? We need a base. We need a place where we can all go to. You know, have a leader. Create a system just like they do, except of righteousness and of our own unique divinity that is high vibrational. So we need people with a certain amount of intelligence about how to build But you know what? If we did that, what if we did that, right? What if the Matrix, and I hate saying what ifs, because what if they never come? But hypothetically speaking, if they do everything in their power to make sure that you don't prosper, all that's going to happen is it's going to be very difficult, because they always want a world where they can control. And if they don't want that puzzle piece on the board, they'll find ways to demolish it. So, is the only way really to abide by the system the most easy way? I think the answer is yes. Sway did have the answers. You ain't got the answers, Sway. So in life as we know it right now, it's like to get a job just over broke. No. The moment you get a job and you start working for them, you don't belong to you no more. When 8 a.m. hits, and if you gotta be somewhere, 9 a.m., 10 a.m. hits, and you gotta be somewhere according to their desires, they own your life. Or, see, the Matrix isn't all that bad. What we have came to as a civilization is we have a lot of things, though. Like, you know what I mean? Vehicles and just all these things that can add to our experience. There's still, fantastic assets. Granted, you put them to use, right? So working is not inherently bad, like I've stated before. The only issue is that they have infiltrated our minds with fear. I would feel more happy if the world would just no longer operate out of fear. You no longer see people operating in a distress state of being, but that we're all happy. So if working is just helping you just make it, just survive, then that's the type of energy we don't want to have. But that's what the whole awakening is about. That is what the whole awakening is about. That our children are no longer going to live in fear. But that's where my issue arises, is that just because we have awakened, or whatever you want to call it, who's to say that they won't do the same thing again? Because they need workers. And if they do it again, and it's like, how do you win versus the Decepticons? Because what is before us is not all that bad. What is bad is the infiltration of the mind. How they target and imprison our minds, which I just absolutely violates any morality to any being. So let's say you give up your time to go back to the Matrix. You know what I mean? But it's like these things that I just mentioned, like vehicles and all this great stuff that we have. What if we don't even want that? What if we don't want to work for these things? Generally speaking, that we have everything we could already need, right? So it's like, we are technically spiritual hippies. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want all this stuff, so as long as we have to work for them, and if we work for them, we belong to them. The only thing that we need is just basic things, right? Like things to keep us going, like food and water. Right? So was existence supposed to be a find your own resources type of experience? Fight or be killed type of experience? Because what we have before us is a very structured, and organized experience. You get shelter, you get food, you get water, you get whatever you need. All you have to do is you work for them. So in a way, working for them, you hand over some of your happiness in order to get these things. Some of these things you don't need, but you want. So the best purchase is to give up as least amount of happiness. To the matrix and receive as much happiness from the matrix, which would be a position like Andrew Tate. I Googled his net worth. I don't know how true that is, but he has well over $300 million. And as far as I'm concerned, he doesn't have to be anywhere at any time. But maybe that's not true. Maybe he does have to be somewhere at a particular time. Because I think that the more you have, the more you belong to somebody. I think. I don't know. I really don't know how it works. But let's say you have like $1 billion, right? You have to belong to somebody, right? You're not that free as we may think. Like they probably have to be doing something, right? Paid actor vibes. I don't know. I'm just saying. So the best purchase you can make is give away the least amount of happiness and receive the most amount of happiness while you're to the matrix. But if you so firmly believe that basic needs should be met, such as food and water, and you believe it so much to not give away any of your happiness to the matrix because you refuse to go to the matrix. What that essentially means is you're living off grid. You're providing for yourself.